All right, guys. I'm here this morning. We just don't have much economic data coming out today, so I'm just kind of starting a little bit late because we don't really have too much to cover. It's a quiet week, but it's not really. It's just quiet on economic data. We do have Powell speaking twice this week. So yeah, we do have Powell speaking this week. So that'll be to cover. That'll be interesting to watch. Powell's supposed to speak. He's supposed to have opening remarks tomorrow, or no, Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I have to check. And then on Thursday he has an IMF, I believe, or let me see. Yeah. So Powell is going to be speaking at 2 p.m. on Thursday. They also have the Fed's balance sheet data coming out. And then there's also a bunch of earnings coming out as well. So we got Powell speaking. And then also on Thursday, what earnings do we have Thursday? We have AMC earnings on Thursday, I believe, right? So, yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff to cover. This morning we had some earnings come out. Nothing really big. The biggest one was Berkshire Hathaway earnings. They dropped earlier today. They posted $4.96 EPS for Berk, $4.96. What's up, team? Yeah, I mean, there's just not that much going on right now, to be honest, and that's okay. It's just a little boring. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. We did have Dish on Demand. Dish on Demand coming out with a really bad quarter. I'm sure Dish is down. Tesla gapping up a lot this morning. Here's Dish. Bad earnings report for Dish for sure. They posted a 26-cent loss. They expected a 25-cent profit. They expected 25-cent profit. They showed a 26-cent loss for Dish. Revenue of 3.7 versus 3.85 expected. Bad earnings for Dish. Way worse than expected. I'll put these numbers up in chat so you can see it. We also had, again, the big earnings report today was Berkshire Hathaway. I guess they didn't cover Berk. So Berk is out. I'll put these up. Hold on. My portfolio is green for another day today. So that's nice. Mostly about Tesla, I think. Which Berk was it? It was BRK.B. Yeah. Well, it says Berk is out with their earnings, but I don't actually see them. I'm showing a 496 EPS versus 474 estimates. Revenue of 93.2 billion for Berk. So let's see if it's up. But yeah, Dish dropping pretty bad results. It's always hard to tell how they show it. Someone put /B. Berk's not really moving that much, but it's up some. Okay, there it is. Berkshire posted. Well, I guess Berkshire reported it last Friday. So Berk reported early, I guess. So here's Berk. They posted Friday, I guess. What are we saying, bro? Is the bear market come back soon? I have no idea, man. Genuinely no idea what any of that stuff's going to do. You guys know me. I don't try to make predictions. We just kind of guess. Slap the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, team. We appreciate that. Again, Tesla up to 224s. Looks good. SPY, Q, both gapping up small today, but still up pretty big on the last few days. SPY all the way back up at almost 440s. Apple slightly red. Apple kind of rebounded all the way back up from its earnings play, though. What about a recession? You think we will have that? Powell says it's going to be a 2027. I think it's very possible we do, but we'll see when. Who knows when it's going to be. Powell's actually supposed to speak again twice this week. All right, so Powell speaks twice this week that we're going to stream. He streams specifically Wednesday morning. So yeah, Wednesday morning he streams opening remarks, and then Wednesday evening we got like AMC and Disney earnings. Thursday we got jobless claims and Powell speaking at 2 p.m. Next week we got CPI. This week's actually pretty slow with economic reports. Like we got some earnings coming out this evening. Nothing really big though. Like none of them are really big. Tomorrow morning we got Uber, Datadog, and that's basically it. Planet Fitness. Tuesday evening we do have Rivian, but man, Rivian, Upstart, Devon, Occidental Petroleum, eBay, Lucid, Corsair, Robinhood, all Wednesday or all Tuesday evening. So we'll watch those as well. Yeah, we do have some Fed speakers all week. Powell speaks twice. Again, he speaks once Wednesday morning at 9:15. And again, we'll stream that. That's perfect time for me. So it looks like Powell's going to be speaking. If I look at the calendar, Powell is going to be speaking at the Division of Research and Statistics Centennial Conference in Washington. Delivering the opening remarks, and then he's going to be talking right at 9:15, so 15 minutes before the bell on Wednesday. So that might be interesting. What are your thoughts on Uber, considering cars market isn't doing so well due to rate hikes? I think Uber is a little bit disconnected from like just the basic car market. I think people not buying cars as much might help Uber, you know? What's up, Brian? Again, hit that like button, guys. We appreciate it. We got Berkshire Hathaway dropped earnings earlier. Again, Dish posted bad earnings today. I don't see any other. We got Dish, Berk, BioNTech this morning, Axon. Nothing really big though. Hey, what's up, Beach Mom? I haven't pulled Twitter up yet. Let me pull it up. Who won the Bills or the Bengals? Josh Allen or Bengals did, bro. How about the Bengals, dude? Coming back, man. Good for them. The Saints are leading the division. I mean, we have no chance of a playoff run, but the Saints are leading the division, so I'm happy about that. All right, team. lot of people saying a recession might hit now. I don't know. But yeah, we did have Dish on Demand. Already released their numbers. The Dish did terribly. Burke did drop their numbers though. None of the other ones are super important though. What was my phone going off? All right, so yeah, so Dish showed a 26-cent loss. I'm telling people that Dish is going to go out of business. Yeah, so other earnings today include Burke, BioNTech, TGLS, All right, so we posted the earnings on Twitter like we do. Dish is merging with another company. Yeah, I mean, I just think nice pawn. Sorry, bro, I haven't even pulled up Discord. Tesla at 223.50s. Hey, nice, man. Hey, that's cool. Corey Dillon. Yeah, man. I'm a Bengals fan because of Joe Burrow. I never in my life thought prior to the 2020 draft, I never in my life thought I would be a Bengals fan. But again, my Bengals fandom comes from being an LSU fan. And LSU got beat by Bama, bro. Honestly, I think the hit was a little cheap. I think they should have been penalized more. Basically, what happened, if you didn't watch the LSU-Alabama game, it's like the biggest rivalry in college, college football, right? So, first we got this really like star quarterback, Jaden Daniels, and he's good. He scrambles really well. I wasn't super impressed with him, but I've kind of changed my tune, to be honest. And I guess I was just wrong because he's looking good out there. Anyways, we got this good quarterback, right? And like we're keeping up with Alabama, like it's tied for most of the game. It's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden, they hit Daniels really, really hard, completely injure him, take him out of the game completely. And then after that, Bama just runs up the scoreboard because we don't have our quarterback, right? Pretty crappy. The question is, how would we have done if our quarterback didn't get hurt? And, it is what it is. It's all good. But that's the only reason we lost, I think. Yeah, at least the Bengals. And so anyways, I became a Bengals fan because I'm an LSU fan. And Joe Burrow won the LSU championships in 2019. and then got drafted by the Bengals in 2020, and then went over there. And his very first full year, his first year, he got hurt. He got hurt. I think he had to have surgery. I don't know if he tore his ACL or MCL or whatever it was, but he got hurt. And then his first full year, he made it to the not the World Series. He made it to the Super Bowl. He lost the Super Bowl, but like, Burrow's good, man. Yeah, but the ironic thing is, like, I used to make fun of the Bengals. No offense. I mean, the Bengals were the worst team in football for a long time, like a long, long time. I can't help it. But now I'm a fan, so. I'll tell you this, though. My fandom for them is only going to last as long as Burrow's on the team, If this ain't the truest thing I've ever seen, dude. So we got this dude, Robert Sterling, and this is absolutely true, bro. Like, I don't know if you've ever met doctorates anywhere, but they always insist on being called doctor. Here's an example. This guy, Robert Sterling, posted. He said, "Hey, man, please call me Kevin." What a guy who spends a decade at Harvard Medical School and now makes 1.2 million as head of brain surgery team. He says, "Hey, man, please call me Kevin." Guy with a EDD and media studies from East Ballstack State, who now makes 48K as a vice dean of DEI compliance. Actually, it's Dr. Dr. Kevin, sir. Please call me Doctor. I kind of get it. Like, if I got my doctorate in something, you better believe I'm going to milk that title, right? I'm going to put it on my credit cards. It's going to be Dr. John on my credit cards, right? But, I don't know. I used to manage benefits for United Airlines, right? And like, one of the things that would just drive me crazy, I never argued with them, but like, you would call him Mr. Smith, and he would be like, "It's Captain Smith," and it's like the pilots got really weird and kind of moody if you didn't call him Captain. It just seemed like, all right, bro, all right, Captain Smith over here, Anyways, I didn't last at that job very long. This is when I was like a teenager, so it is what it is. Tesla pulled it back a little bit, dropping some. BioNTech released results. BioNTech was only really big right in the middle of the pandemic. After then, it kind of chilled out some. There's BioNTech results. I would reach out to them, Quality. I'm not sure there. I think there's a rule that like you can't take two trades at the same time and just do the opposite, but I'm not 100% sure, brother. I would ask them, man. Are you a Vikings fan too? Oh, what, for Jefferson? For Jefferson? I'm not as much, no. But at the same time, like, there's a difference between having a really good running back and having a really good quarterback, right? The quarterback kind of leads the team. Jefferson's doing great things over there, bro. I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to win. I guess you could call me a fan of the Vikings. Like, if the Bengals or the Saints aren't playing, I want the Vikings to win, as long as there's no like playoff implications behind the win that are going to affect the teams I just mentioned. Yeah, I root for Jefferson. I hope they win, man. All right, so South Korea banning short selling. I think that's a terrible idea. I think you got to let people do whatever they want to do. I don't think you should let people only go long, and I think that's going to mess with the market, the way the market moves. I think the problem is you got a bunch of people investing in total crap who now want to cry about short selling because they're down so much and they want somebody to blame besides themselves for investing in total crap, But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Oh yeah, let's do a poll. Does the market close green this week? Situation is dire. Nearly 2/3 of potential home buyers would welcome recession if it meant lower mortgage rates. But here's what they're missing. Yeah, like the problem with Bitcoin. So the former Ripple CTO Stephen Thomas forgot the password for his Iron Key hard drive, which contains 7,002 Bitcoin. Right. The problem with this, right? How could you ever forget the password, dude? You know, the problem with this, like the crypto is like there's no center of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like there's no center of Bitcoin. The problem with not having any like executive center is that you can't go to them and say, hey, I forgot my password. Can you give me my Bitcoin, please? You know, and the CEO or whomever is just like, yeah. I mean, I know it doesn't really work like that, but like I think that's one of the problems. X is reportedly working on a marketplace for unused handles and usernames with prices reaching 50K or more. Dude, I'm not paying 50K for a handle. This guy freaking Ed stealing my username, bro. Poll results, 71% are green right now, 29% are red, but that's going to change, I bet. You know. Stay away from RVs. Like recreational vehicles. Why? Are you a beginner? No. I mean, but to be fair, I created that name like 8 years ago. So, I mean, we're just kind of a resource for trading, and so we stuck with it. The problem with NFTs, bro, I'm just going to be honest. The problem with NFTs is like they were once big, right? And I'm not saying some aren't going for big money now, but the problem is that like the barrier for entry for NFTs is so low and the potential manipulation is so high that everybody's trying to get rich through NFTs, and so they're using like the sleaziest, like worst type of marketing you can for them, which is just kind of spamming everybody with bots on social media, and it's just like everybody knows they're sketchy. Nobody's gonna buy your NFTs. Air Lee says aircraft demand remains very strong while supply chain and other OEM challenges to continue to constrain supply of commercial aircraft. Yeah, a lot of people arguing against AI. Somebody saying new paper by Google provides evidence that transformers, GPT, etc., cannot generalize beyond their training data. They said, quote, our contributions are as follows. We pre-train transformer models for in-context learning using a mixture of multiple distinct function classes and characterize the model selection behavior exhibited. We study the in-context learning behavior of the pre-trained transformer model on functions that are out of distribution from the function classes and the pre-training data. I know you guys don't understand any of this. I don't understand it either. I mean, I understand a little bit of it, but like, I understand a lot of people aren't. In the regime study, we find strong evidence that the model can perform model selection among pre-trained function classes during in-context learning at little extra statistical cost, but limited evidence that the model's in-context learning behavior is capable of generalizing beyond their pre-training data. Right? What that ultimately means is AI can't generalize beyond their pre-training data. You know. At least ChatGPT and others on the same thing. Apple all the way back up. If you look at Apple has basically rebounded all the way back up. Tesla's still falling. Yeah, but Tesla's still up a lot. It's got a long way to go. Apple popping towards that previous closing price. We got about 300 people here already. Again, looking at other reports here in pre-market. So Iran's foreign minister says So Iran's foreign minister says the Americans sent Iran a message in the past 3 days saying they are seeking a ceasefire. A little bit too political for me, but worldwide news, so we're going to cover that. Looking at our poll number, 71% think the market's going to be green. Again, the market has bounced back a lot, team, like a lot. All right, so OpenAI Dev Day. What is this? I forgot. Is that today? Ooh. All right. So this is at noon today, OpenAI Dev Day. Should I stream this? Is it tonight or this morning? We got a lot of leaks. Gizmo, V8, GPT Builder. Keynote live stream. Tune in for Sam Altman's keynote as he unveils the newest OpenAI innovation with live demos at noon today. I'd have to skip jujitsu, though. I want to go to jujitsu today, man. Nah. Yeah, I mean, OpenAI will probably affect a lot of stuff, specifically NVIDIA, too. And it says that we're able to live stream it, so... So it's going to be at 1 p.m. market time is when it is. And it's going to go on for about an hour and a half. All right, so yeah, it's going to be at noon today, guys. All right, guys. John, is there ever a right time to buy real estate, or should we just get in position and do our homework with these current rates? Yes, there's a right and wrong time to buy it for sure. Again, I'm going to preface anything. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not a real estate professional. I'm not liable if you lose money in real estate. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. Okay. What I will say is that yes, I believe there's a right and wrong time to buy real estate. Now, over the long run, it shouldn't matter as much. So it doesn't matter as much. It's kind of like buying the S&P 500, right? In which, yeah, you could get in at better times, but over the long run, like, you should make money regardless of where you buy it short term. What I will say is that if you're getting a mortgage, there's definitely a right time to get a mortgage and a wrong time to get a mortgage. And I would say right now, in my personal subjective opinion, is the wrong time. Mortgages are freaking 8% right now. And so you're going to pay so much money for that home. And yes, you can refinance, and like, that's good and fine and all. But, you know, I'm not buying them. I'm not mortgaging a house right now. It's just too risky. Again, mortgage brokers are going to tell you can just refinance, but I'm not doing it. Everybody's different, though. Do what you want to do. Tomorrow we have Uber, Lucid, Rivian, eBay. Wednesday we got Roblox, Disney, AMC. Yeah, hopefully they don't overregulate AI. Best real estate move to undeveloped land? Maybe. Buying a house before rates drop is a good plan if you can afford the payments. Profit as soon as you refinance because low entry costs. Sure, but the problem is predicting when that's going to happen, Trudeau. You know what I mean? So like the problem is like you can try to predict when mortgage rates are going to drop, but that's a very difficult thing to do, and nobody really freaking knows. You know, like very hard thing to do correctly. And if you get it wrong, you're going to be paying out the butt. You know. How do you see the SPY? Thank you. I think the SPY's up a lot. I think tech, Apple. This earnings season has been the most successful earnings season in over a year. Like this earnings season has been the best earnings season we've had in over a year. And so earnings season certainly helping. The dovish pause with the Fed is certainly helping. So what's your level in jiu-jitsu? Oh, I'm a terrible white belt. AI is going nowhere. Yeah, I mean, maybe. But Bob, didn't you also say that AI was a gimmick that wouldn't get any attention and nobody would, And I mean, now when you zoom out, AI's been pretty big, brother. So. All right, team. Again, SPY almost up to 436. If we look at the Q here, Q's doing even better too, man. Tech doing really well. Where's Netflix at? Netflix having a great day too. Apple back all the way up to where it was prior to its earnings. So Apple dropped a lot from their earnings, but they basically rebounded all the way back up. What's everybody's thoughts on NVIDIA this week on a technical chart? Yeah, technical-wise, I'm not sure. What I will say, though, is that when you look at how much everything's up, NVIDIA almost up to 460 right now. And the other thing is that we have AI Day here. So AI Day, Dev Day, OpenAI Dev Day is today. So we do have OpenAI Dev Day. There's apparently some leaks. Ooh, again, part of me thinks I should stream this. Should I stream this, guys? How do I switch to my live account on Quant Tower? You go to the top right. All right, so again, NVIDIA, man, I didn't realize NVIDIA looks so solid here. Papa Powell net worth is over 30 mil. Yeah, he worked with an investment bank, though, Say Powell gets paid under 200K a year. My man, I wouldn't take that position. Even if they pay me, I'd take it. Because again, you got to think larger than this, okay? Like 200K is just cherry on top, right? Like think about how much influence, how much notoriety. Again, if you were chairman of the FOMC for a decade or however long, you would never have to work again. You know, because again, you could essentially live off doing conferences, doing speeches for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So it gives you so much notoriety and influence becoming FOMC chairman like that you'll never have to work again, essentially. Never have to work like as a corporate job ever again. I mean, Powell, I don't think Powell's doing this job because he needs to either. Powell's already got a huge net worth. And so it's a difficult job to do. Like no matter what, everybody always hates the chairman, regardless of what they do. Korean stocks having their best rally in over 500 days, basically 2 years. Big Mac tokens. Yeah, the problem is, so as Peter Lynch famously said in this business, if you are good, you are right 6 times out of 10. You are never going to be right 9 times out of 10, 100%, right? And the problem with that is that you hear people online talk about their accuracy rate. They're like, oh, I got a 90, 95% accuracy rate. Oh, bro, I make 5% a day, brah. And it's just kind of like, man. Again, people fall for it because they want to believe it. Like, I'd love to believe that there's a system out there that can earn me 5% every day. And like within a few years, I'm just going to be rich, really within a few months, let's be honest. But it's just not, it doesn't exist. If it did, banks would pay billions to keep it, to not put it out there. Up 8,700 on AMD. I'll make 200K a speech after. Yeah. My daughter receives $900 a month. She has 5 years till 18. Where would be a good place to dollar cost average over the next 5 years so her money is not just sitting there? 5 years? I mean, you could DCA. Again, I'm going to preface this with I have no idea. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Be careful. There's always risk in any market, right? Now you got 2 choices to do with this, right? So $900 a month, you got 2 options, in my opinion, right? You got bonds or you got the stock market, okay? Stock market is not guaranteed, especially over a 5-year period, which is a relatively small amount of time. And so anything could happen over 5 years. You could get crashes, you could get recessions, you could get depressions, you can get a lot of different volatile things happening over a 5-year period, but it's still pretty probable that if you buy today and hold for 5 years, that the market's probably going to go up, right? And if that's the case, on average, the market will give you about 10% annually on average, right? Which sometimes you're not going to have green years. Sometimes you're going to have red years, but the really good green years are going to compensate for the red years, right? And so on average, you're going to earn about 10%. At least historically, that's been the case. You never know if that's going to continue on into the future. At least historically, that's the case. So, keep all of that in mind, right? But there's certainly risks with it. It's definitely not guaranteed. The other option you can do is just buy bonds with it. Buy bonds right now, you're going to earn about 5% a year. and you can compound that and buy more. But yeah, remember the bond yield might change, right? So bonds, you can buy you can get about 5% annually, and then at the end of that period, whatever the maturity date is, if it's a short-term maturity date like a 1-year date, or if it's a long-term maturity date like a 10-year, 20-year, so forth. At the end of that maturity date, you're going to get your money back, and they're going to pay you whatever that yield is throughout the year, right? So if the yield's 5%, you have 100,000, you're going to earn $5,000 a year, and they're going to pay you that money. Each year they're going to give you that money. Sometimes it's annually, sometimes it's biannually. It depends, but that's your other option. So again, S&P 500, larger potential gain, more risk, of course. Anything could happen, but odds are still pretty good. And then bonds are guaranteed returns. So like you buy bonds, whatever the yield is locked in, you're going to get that yield back. But if you're getting $900 a month and you want to kind of add to it each month, understand bond prices might change. And so, completely up to you there. Good luck. All right, team. The national average rate on a 12-month CD is 1.76%. But I mean, some will pay you a little bit over 5% though. Like you can get some for 5.3%. Yeah, all good, man. C3 AI to 40. If they say something good during AI day, maybe. Where's C3 at, man? Been a while since I've really seen it. Yeah, it's almost up to 30. All right, guys. So again, we're covering a lot of stuff. Big C3 AI is up to $30 this year. NVIDIA all the way up to freaking 450s, 460 almost, which is great. Yeah, market's kind of quiet. There's not really a lot of stuff going on today. All right, team. All right, guys. So Dish, man, just getting destroyed from their earnings. Any other big news is out today, team? You can put your money into a SPACs through Fidelity or 5%, no minimum move in and out as much as you want. Yeah. Well, AMC at 907, sold at 65. I missed the meme days. John, do you believe there will be a day that surgeons will be replaced by AI? I mean, maybe. I don't think completely. You know. All right, team. Yeah, we're gonna get ready to trade some today, though. It's 8 a.m. right now. 8 a.m. If you guys see anything else, let me know. I just don't see anything. Hey, John, where do you get your news at? Secured credit, not prepaid. Yeah, you get a secured credit card. Those are okay. I still got some old ones that I used to build my credit. I don't actually use them anymore, but I keep them open to maintain my credit history longer. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Y'all guys see anything else that looks good today, team? Any other plays? What's some good dip buying strategies we have? We're going to talk about some systems at the open this morning. But we do have Powell speaking this week twice. So Powell speaks twice. Again, Wednesday morning, he has some opening remarks. Thursday afternoon, Powell speaks at on a panel at the IMF. So again, Powell is going to be on a panel at the IMF on Thursday. And again, we're going to stream this live like we always do as well. Be ready. The IMF is the International Monetary Fund. I always love it when Powell speaks. It's always good for the channel. Hey, John, how do you get your news? We use a bunch of different stuff. Utilization rate is at 1%, debt to income ratio, good. Trade laws and primary cards in place. Money management is one key to wealth. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not claiming to be super rich. All right, so I want to make sure people understand. I'm not claiming to be super rich. Oh, we did get a time change, bro. We did get a time change, dude. So did I get an extra hour last night? Wait, when did time change happen? Okay, no. So it happened the day before yesterday. That's what happened. See, here's the problem with technology, right? Prior to technology like this, you had to change the clocks back yourself. So like if you didn't change your clock backs, you could be off. Nowadays you wake up on daylight savings time and you don't even notice because everything's automated now. I didn't notice anything. I completely forgot and didn't even realize I got an extra hour of sleep on Sunday morning. Yeah, so I'm late. But that's what I'm saying. Technology has evolved past that point to where, All right, team, we're going to get ready to trade some. Stick around. How did I not realize? Because my time doesn't, I don't look at the microwave time, brother. I don't know what the microwave time is. Yeah, I feel you, Krober. All right, again, NASDAQ starting to pull back down here. You can kind of see this trend that we've been in all morning. Yeah, we've been in this trend. It's 8 a.m. now. Still up, though. You know, we could look at a lot of different things, but we're still up some. I might start playing this trend if we get some opportunity here for it. All right. I think we're in a little bit of a trend. All right, so we're actually shorting the NASDAQ here. We're up $55 already. I thought it was a bearish trend. I wanted to bet with the current trend. We're gonna go ahead and cut that. We just made about 70, kind of building up a little cushion in this account for the day so far. I'm building up a small cushion, and it looks like it worked. I might short this again. All right, so we just took another little trade. Short. We got a cushion on the day, though. Let's see if we flush down. We're break even now. There we go. There we go. We're shorting the NASDAQ here because it's not really moving that much in pre. So we have a little bit more quieter range. All right, so we're up slightly. I like the current trend, but we're completely flat here. Very quiet movement. How's the Dow moving pre? We're also going to be trading on Top Step X a little bit today, too. All right, we break over this top of the candle, we'll cut it. Again, we're about break even now, even if we cut this trade. Still up a little bit, I think. Yeah, we're going to have to cut it. It's a small loss. We're still green on the day, though. We'll wait now. Look at Tesla starting to creep back up. The 200 EMA is right there. The liquidity is actually pretty quiet today, though, team. So we do have a pretty low liquidity. It's not super volatile right now, for sure. Let's see if we get anything good. NVIDIA is another one we're watching. I think we have to watch the Q. Q still downtrending. All right, guys. Yeah, so I'm trying to log into Top Step T or Top Step X. I have to figure out what the password is. What do you think about Musk calling out Zuckerberg? I didn't see that. Today is my first day trading on Top Step. If I make $100 today, does the 50% best play rule mean I cannot make more than $50 tomorrow? No. So they only mean 50% of the goal, right? So if the base combines, the goal for the base combine is 3,000, you can't make over $1,500 a day, right? But they actually give you a little bit of leeway. I would reach out to them to confirm, but like most of the time, if you're a couple bucks over 1,500, they're not going to penalize you. It just can't be like you can't make 3,000 one day. All right, team. I figured it out. I'm going to get my password set here. All right, I'm trying to get Top Step TV set up. There we go. Okay. All right, so we get Tesla still popping up higher here, team. Tesla's still trying to make moves higher. What do you think about SQ? Square? Didn't Square drop earnings last week? I think they've done okay since their earnings release, although they didn't really hold. I was in Square. I ended up unloading a lot of it. So I took a lot of those positions off. What the heck? Okay, I was about to say. Okay, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Yeah, so I mean, I took a lot of the Square positions off. PayPal doing pretty nice too, though. Let's see if PayPal actually holds. There's PayPal. So PayPal actually having another really solid day here. Is this the high of the last couple days? Yeah. Good for PayPal here, man. How many shares am I holding of this now? Okay, yeah, we'll take a little bit more off of this too, because I can't. Just lock in some more profit there. PayPal up again. No bullish continuation. It got rejected on that bear zone Friday. We also have a nice double top for a nice reversal. Will be a pullback day. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. DOA. Again, nobody really knows is the truth. You get people who always try to tell you, yes, this is going to happen or this is going to happen. In the end, nobody really knows. You know. All right, team. Let's try this again. All right, so we got to pull back on Tesla down to 223 here. We also have Google, which had a really nice comeback, man. Google fought all the way back up. Google had a really rough earnings report, even though the earnings weren't terrible for Google. Like they had a rough reaction to earnings. I'll say that. That's probably the easiest way to put it. It's just a bad reaction. And then they kind of came all the way back. Yeah, I mean, no offense, BOA or DOA. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying you're wrong. Again, you very much might be right here, brother. You very much might be right here, bro. But regardless of whether you got Bloomberg Terminal, regardless of anything else, man, you got to understand how many times I hear people post really definitive things and then are just wildly wrong by it, right? This is something that's a very common theme here. And it's usually, and again, I'm not saying this to you, but usually what happens is like traders post very definitive statements like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to go green today. We're going to go red today. This is going to happen. We're going to hold here. We're going to break here. The bottom is here. Whatever definitive statement they want to make, they're like, this is going to happen. Sometimes they even pressure everybody to do one specific thing. And then whenever that thing turns out not to be true, right? Which isn't always. Sometimes they're right, but you got a 50-50 chance of being right, especially if you're saying green or red. When that turns out not to be true, then usually they deny they ever said it, or they just create another account, or you never really hear from them again. Or sometimes they get mad I even bring it up and get kind of weird about it. In the end, there's a lot of egos that float around in the markets. My go-to move is I try not to make definitive predictions. I never say this is going to happen or this is not going to happen, because nobody knows, especially short-term predictions, especially what we're going to do today. Nobody really knows. And again, I agree. I think we're really extended to the upside. I think the market has pushed up a lot over the last couple days. And so I agree. I think we're due for some pullbacks, but it's never a certainty. It's never a for sure thing. So just be careful. Yeah, I mean, anybody can make up a winning rate, DOA. Like, that's something like that. No offense. That sounds like a rookie trader thing, brother. Yeah, like the one guy that risked 70% of his account saying the market was going to go down, sell, crashes in, sell now. And then the market ended up making this huge rip up, Yeah, for sure. Pullback coming. Maybe, again, I think we could pull back. I think we're extended on the upside. I just don't think it's a certainty. Nothing is in the market. And anybody that thinks anybody that thinks they know exactly what's going to happen usually has the least amount of experience, right? The least amount of experience, because they haven't been around the market long enough to understand it, right? In the end, no matter what technical strategy, technical indicator, no matter what Bloomberg Terminal says, nobody freaking knows anything about what the market's going to do. We got a 50-50 chance of guessing correctly, and you better believe if y'all guess it correctly, I'm never going to hear the end of it. But my point is, nobody knows. Nobody knows. Especially about what the market's going to do short term. %, right? Well said, man. Thank you, Chocolate. I appreciate you. Thank you, Vladimir. Yeah, 100%. This is accurate. Again, anybody that doesn't think it is hasn't been around the market long enough. All right, so again, Tesla very flat right now. SPY trying to move back up too. Where are we on the Dixie? Dixie's been down a lot with the upward movement, and the Dixie has an inverse correlation with markets, right? So the dollar index moves down as you know, the market moves up and vice versa. So you know, that's kind of what happens is the dollar index moves down as the market moves up and vice versa. So because the market's pushing up so heavily lately, we're now moving down on the Dixie, which is good. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Kathy Wood posting something last night saying, check out one of the latest charts. The 10-year Treasury bond yield versus the ratio of metals to gold. It suggests that 5% Treasury bond yields are way out of line. It should be closer to 2% based on the ratio of metals to gold prices. Like, I want to like Grant Cardone, you know what I mean? And I want to think he's a smart guy. Okay. But there's a lot of people questioning whether he's actually a billionaire or not. And then I also found out he's a Scientologist, right? So I have to question his intelligence if you believe that stuff. You know, Zulu and, you know, the Galactic Overlord, and like basically by a science fiction writer. Like, who believes that nonsense, man? Come on now. Like, again, so I like him. Again, I like Grant Cardone. I like some of the stuff he says. Some of the stuff I wildly disagree with, but like, that's kind of I'm not gonna say it's a deal breaker. I'll still watch him, but I'm definitely gonna be a little bit more skeptical looking at this dude from now on. Again, I'm still questioning whether I should stream OpenAI's event today. OpenAI has an AI event today. I'm still questioning whether I should stream it. What do you guys think? Now, we're already got 2 Jerome Powell speeches this week, conferences this week that we're going to cover. 2 Jerome Powell speeches. What you think about Apple? I think Apple had a bad reaction to earnings. Didn't really affect the market that much, and then rebounded the next day and back up basically where it was prior to earnings. So kind of a neutral report on earnings. Where's gold at right now? Is gold over 2K yet? No, gold is at 1993. Spiked up last week on a Friday. Didn't really hold the gains though. Still right around 2K. Still had a pretty good couple weeks here for gold. Gold all the way back up to almost 2K. Gold's been basically bouncing back since for the last 30 days or so. How are you guys doing over the last week here, guys? Are you guys red or green last week? The average monthly cost of renting a home in Canada is now $2,150 Canadian dollars, the highest ever according to CBC. That's crazy high. Yeah, the real estate market's sketchy right now. All right, so there's the SPY. Here's Tesla on the left. Green. Can you open multiple accounts? Yeah, you can, Nick. I'm pretty sure. Big Red didn't expect 6% shriek. Yeah. Up 10K, huge green, green, green. I was green last week, red. No, John, take the time off. Yeah, like I said, the only hiccup in it, I probably would stream it. The only hiccup in it is I have jujitsu today around that time. And again, if you guys heard the stuff going on with my son, he's doing better, by the way. We're keeping him home and just doing distance learning for now, and he's doing much better. Much better. So just so stressful, man. Just so stressful. But jujitsu is where I go to relieve that tension, you know, choke some people out, you know, or get choked out, but that's the only problem is jujitsu is right around the same point. I really want to go. It's been a few days since I went. How about Tesla call and put Friday just go up or down a lot? The housing market is a house of cards. Yeah, for sure. Bro, I got so many people messaging me about NFTs. Like, bro, if I get another person reaching out to me trying to get me to do a deal with Una Academy. This guy posted a video on how he kept a job at McDonald's with an IQ of 70. Bro, 70 is a scary IQ. I gotta hear how this guy talks. Hold on. Sorry guys, I'm watching this video. I just can't help but click it. I don't know, but here's the problem though. And maybe like okay, so this guy says he's had a really low IQ, right? And that he's been working on it for the last year and a half trying to rehabilitate himself. But like IQ is not knowledge. There's a difference between intelligence and knowledge, right? Like you can have all the knowledge in the world, maybe not all the knowledge in the world, because they are like they're similar but not the same. Basically, the point is you're not going to increase your IQ in any significant way, in my opinion. Not unless you just bomb the first test and then take the second test right. Like intelligence is basically how fast you learn. I think the technical definition of it is your ability to obtain knowledge or something like that, right? It's how well you learn, how quickly you learn things. And so most IQ tests have nothing to do with knowledge per se. They're basically like pattern detection and like a lot of other things. Um, but this guy says he's got an IQ of 70, but he talks like a normal person too, which is scarier, right? Which means like I wonder how many people are walking around with an IQ of 70 that just don't realize it. It's a scary concept, I think, to think about. Um, anyways, I wish him the best. I hope he does well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's acting like he can study. I mean, maybe you can get better. Like the only thing, like a lot of IQ tests are again like pattern detection and stuff like that. Maybe you can improve your pattern detection skills, to score higher. But it's not like something. It's not a test that you can necessarily study for, if that makes sense. Like, it's it's uh, it's not really a knowledge based test. Look at PayPal's chart from 1 year ago. It was choppy, then dropped significantly. I think these shorts are covering, and we are headed much higher this week. Maybe. Um, and again, I'm not claiming to be super smart or anything like that. Again, I wish this guy the best. I'm not trying to act condescending towards him. And here we go. Yeah, PayPal's had a rough year, but it's one of the reasons I bought it. Like I took a little bit of profit this morning, but I bought it. My average price on it is 51.40s. And so I thought 50s was pretty cheap. I thought PayPal is a big enough company that it's probably going to stick around, although there are some questions regarding its future, validity, um, or health, I should say, more than validity, health. I think it's vulnerable in certain ways, specifically with like how we transfer money. I think Zelle, stuff like that, has risen a lot. The concept, or not the concept, the businesses of Zelle and the capabilities of money sending applications like Zelle, Cash App, crypto in general pose threats to PayPal long term. Because if people can send those things for cheap, they don't need to pay PayPal, 4 to 8% for a transaction. Um, and so in that regard, I think that could pose some risks long term for PayPal. But I also think PayPal is just a big enough company, and that a lot of people still really use on a regular basis. And so I think it's still probably okay. SPY bouncing back up to the 200 EMA VWAP level. So the SPY is creeping back up here, moving up to that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. Let's see if it actually holds. Starting to bounce up. A lot of the time I like using that level as like a rejection spot. There's PayPal. Anything else that you guys want to look at again? Here's Apple. Apple had its earnings, which its earnings weren't terrible, and it's basically rebounded all the way back up um, to 176s. So it's trying to hold. Right, so we are getting a little bit of a trade here in the Nasdaq. We're shorting. We're up 65. Shorting at that 200 EMA VWAP level. We'll go ahead and cover that. And so now we're up about 70 on the day or so. We got about $70 probably. We got a 2-to-1 win-loss ratio. My goal is to build up a cushion in these accounts first. Like I want to build up a cushion. And then once we build up that cushion, we can then choose to take, larger risks, if that makes sense. Also, if you haven't already checked out TopStep, TopStep is a funded account program for futures. And so it's really useful if you want to learn to day trade with less risk. A lot of people, there's just so much nonsense out there regarding trading that a lot of people just think it's like that they can just get rich and ride off into the sunset and make 2, 3, 4, 5% a day. And that's just not really, you can make it in one particular day, but making it every day is very, 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 very difficult and virtually impossible. And so if you want a cheaper way, most day traders lose money when they first get started. If you want a cheaper way to trade where you're not risking as much as you would putting up the money up yourself, without putting up the money up yourself, as much money. When I first got started day trading, I lost thousands of dollars. One of the cheaper ways to get around that is using a funded account program. Top Step and futures, I'm basically trading the Q. If you look at the Q right here on the top left, and then you look at what I'm actually trading, it's the same price action. It's the same thing. So again, you can kind of see consolidation, bounce, dip, consolidation, bounce, dip, or backwards. I said that backwards. But again, you'll notice this is the same price action. So again, look, pretty large dip, bounce. If I pull up the NQ, pretty large dip, bounce. You can see green candle pullback, bounce, bounce, same price action. I can trade this right side with no PDT rule in futures. I can also day trade the S&P 500. currencies, gold, silver. The patterns are very similar, and like the Nasdaq to large blue chip companies, like patterns are very similar to something like this with Tesla or Apple. But there's just no PDT rule, so you can't trade actual stocks, but you can trade these index funds, which move very similar to large cap stocks, and there's no PDT rule. And the funded account programs are useful because they save you money in terms of risk. Instead of putting up thousands yourself and risking thousands, instead, you can risk much less. The base combine on Top Step's $49. They give you a demo. They give you a 50K demo with that, and they test your skill. And if you can hit 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing over 2K, and while following the rest of their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K with a 90% split. And so if you're funded and you make 10K, you get to keep 9K of that, which is 90%. As a trader, which is very similar to putting up the money yourself. Like the reward is very similar, but the risk is noticeably less. And they pay out millions, fund thousands of traders every year, pay out millions in actual withdrawals every year. And they've been around for over a decade. They're the most legit one in the world. If you want to check them out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Check out the link. Well, I mean, Sebastian, they're testing you. It's a challenge. So like the way you have to look at it is like everybody's not going to get funded, and most people are not because most day traders lose money. Right, but in that regard, it makes perfect sense too, because as a new trader, when you're learning, you can either put the money up yourself and risk thousands of dollars, or you can put up, essentially $50 and take a challenge. And if you're good enough to pass that challenge, then you can get funded. If you're not good enough to pass it, which is going to be most people, you're going to only lose $50 instead of potentially thousands putting up the money up yourself. In that regard, it makes perfect sense. Some demo accounts cost over $50, right? So again, regardless of which way you look at it, it makes sense. The only people that really dislike it are people who lose. And a lot of the time, new traders aren't the most introspective traders. So like they want somebody to blame. They blame me or they blame Top Step or whomever. But in the end, most traders lose. It doesn't matter whether they're on Top Step or not. And this is just a way to limit your risk a little bit when you're learning. And if you're good enough to pass it, you still get a 90% split. Can you give me an example of the 50% best day rule, John? Sure. So the fastest you can get funded is in 2 days on Top Step, right? And so with that in mind, um, basically, if I get that 50K combine and I make $1,500 in 1 day, right? And then the next day I make 1,500 bucks, then I'm funded, right? Technically, I never went over 50% because 50% of 3,000 is 1,500, right? Now, in that regard, I can get funded in a minimum of 2 days. Now, say I go out, I start the 50K combine, and the $3,000 profit target is what I have to hit, and I make $2,000 my first day, right? That's when the 50% rule is going to trigger because the first day I made over 50% of the profit target, which is 3K. So I made over 50% of that, which is 1,500. So if I make 2,000, I hit over 50%, and they're going to give me extra stuff that I have to follow. You can use a bunch of different trading platforms. They have a new one called Top Step X. I use Quant Tower right now. I'm waiting to get into Top Step X, but it just came out and they're not giving it to everybody. So, and again, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm certainly biased, of course, because they pay me money. But if you want to check them out, there's the link. But does Top Step take a risk every time they get someone to join the challenge? Um, I mean, it depends on which way you look at it. Sure, they're going to have to pay out profitable traders, and they do. Um, But again, I think the way they look at it, which is the right way, which is that it's okay if traders are profitable because they're making, because it's a business as well. You can't really knock them for it. I think it makes sense. They're providing a useful service for traders. And again, you got to think about it. Like some traders, some paper trading platforms cost more than Top Step, you know, and so All right, team. I'm getting ready to trade some more. We got a small cushion. All right, team. Again, we'll see if we get anything good. Oh, can y'all not hear the music? My bad, team. I'm sitting here in silence. No, Fred. Again, Fred, listen, brother. It's all good, but I've answered this a couple times already, man. It's not 50% of your current profit, sir. It's not 50%. It might show up as that when they're looking at the stats. Again, as long as you do not make over $1,500 per day, right? As long as you don't make over $1,500 on the base combine. You want to know what your max win is per day? You look at what the profit target is in the combine. Okay. So again, the profit target on the 150K combine is 9,000, which means that you can't make over $4,500 per day. That's the 50% they're referencing. It's not your current profit, it's the total profit target they're looking at. All right, so SPY bouncing all the way back over. No, Fred's not a bot, but again, I mean, reach out to them. Okay, so again, I'm going to read you from, if you click the link, your consistency target will be based on your overall profits in the account when it's passed. Okay, when it's passed is what you're missing here. Okay, so when it's passed, okay, look. It's right here, is what they mean. And again, it's all good, but yeah. Again, if your profit target is 3K, you can't make over $1,500. If your profit target is 9K, you can't make over $4,500 on any particular day. That's all it is. I understand that some of the language might be confusing. It's all good, brother. But yeah, that's what it is. Again, guys, we got the opening bell at 45 minutes, 45 minutes. Q right at the 200 EMA, guys. Right at the 200 EMA volume weighted average price level. SPY broke over it, and now it's pulling back to it. So let's see if this holds. But we did finally break over the 200-day VWAP level. Again, NVIDIA has just been on a crazy run up, guys. NVIDIA has had a crazy run up. It's at 455s right now, 455s. Again, today we do have the dev day for OpenAI. So it's OpenAI developer day. They might have some big, they've said there were some leaks, to be honest. They said there were some leaks, but we'll see. That's today. That should be fun to see what happens. Yes, we're rejecting a little bit on the Q, which is more tech based, right? So this is a little bit more tech heavy. Yeah, so where are yields at right now? Let's take a look. Here's the SPY. So let's see if the SPY holds the view up level. Part of me wants to buy it, but I think I'll wait. Bond yields are spiking back up a little bit. They're at 4.6%. They dropped on the latest run last week. Bond prices dropped all the way to 4.48%. 4.48%. So that's pretty low relative to where it's been for the last week or two. But bond prices spiking back up a little bit today, back up to 4.6%. Still pretty conventionally high. But again, it depends on what the market does. We'll see. Fubo reported earnings. That's the reason it's up, is from earnings specifically. Okay, looking at our poll here, we did do a poll. 70% are green, 30% are red. I went rock climbing yesterday. That was pretty fun. You want to see some videos? I got some videos rock climbing. I guess Carol has the videos. All I have is video is Carol, I think. Let me see. I did go rock climbing. Yeah, I mean, last week was a great week for stocks, man. Markets ripped up. You know, it's funny because like we had some penny stock gurus telling everybody that the market was going to crash and burn and crash and burn, and now they're just not mentioning that. They say that. Here's the Q breaking back over the 200 EMA. So Q over 200 EMA VWAP level. Here's the SPY over 200 EMA VWAP level. Yeah, rock climbing was fun. I didn't go actually rock climbing. I'm in Texas, and you guys know we don't have mountains here. But I went artificial rock climbing. Market gets artificially pumped when it's supposed to be correct. Volume last week was low. And when it's supposed to correct. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Volume last week was low. Let's see. Here's the SPY. Week. Volume last week was not low. We had close to 500 million shares traded. You know, last week, starting on October 10th. So yeah, volume last week wasn't low. I mean, it wasn't like sky high either, but earnings are really what influence the market. It's earnings season, you know, and if we did have slow parts of last week, it's probably just because people are more apprehensive to buy or sell ahead of big earnings. So like when big earnings come out, people are less likely to take big positions ahead of them, right? So that might give some lesser volume leading up to the big earnings reports, which is very standard. All right, so again, Q, SPY both dropping under the 200 EMA volume weighted average price. That's a pretty weak sign. And so again, if we do hold down under here, I'm going to give it a chance to hold. If we do, I'm going to short. Even though we've pushed up over the last few minutes, under the 200 EMA, the volume on the Q is very light today. Yeah, definitely top 3. Yeah, people were selling off out of fear of the FOMC rate hike and then had low volume until the stream. Right. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Yeah, I'm watching the Q here. I'm trying to see what we're going to get with it. Again, slap the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much. All right, so there's the Q. Yeah, we got a little bit of profit on the day already too. SPY back over the 200 EMA VWAP level, but again, we did take this short. We're shorting the Q right here, basically, in what's called in futures. So we're shorting the Q in futures trading. Luckily, we have a cushion on the day. We're up almost $100, so we got a little bit of room to swing. There's a flush. There we go. I like that breakdown look. Let's see if we hold down. The SPY broke down under the 200 EMA as well. Pretty flat on the trade. Now we're down a little bit, but luckily we have a cushion on the day already. Still got about 35, 40 minutes until the open. Very low range though right now, so the market's kind of quiet today. This is actually a pretty quiet week. We don't have a lot of action this week, I'll say. Ah, come on. All right, so we're pretty flat now on the day. Q's popping up pretty big, so honestly what's weird is like the Q's not really. Yeah, this is the SPY moving up big. Yeah, so all good. We're flat on the day now. If you want to see my P&L, kind of going back and forth. We're actually down. Oh, we're down $18 today. Could be worse. We got a 1-to-1 win-loss ratio, so like pretty flat day, all things considered, and I guess I'm okay with that. We'll see if we get some better movement into the open. But yeah, the market's a little flat. Any good earnings we're watching this week? We don't really have any major ones. We have AMC, Rivian, Disney are the big ones this week. AMC, Rivian, Disney, Uber tomorrow. So tomorrow we got Uber, Datadog, Rivian, Upstart tomorrow evening. Occidental Petroleum, Dutch Bros, eBay, Lucid, Corsair, Mosaic, Robinhood are the big ones. Bumble. And then Wednesday, we got Roblox in the morning, Fisker, Under Armour, Warner Bros. And then AMC, Disney, Twilio, Affirm, Marathon, IONQ, and then NVAX Thursday morning, Fiverr, Wix, Plug Power, Trade Desk Wednesday evening or Thursday evening, Win, Unity, Aurora Cannabis, and then Friday we got nothing really. So yeah, not really any big stuff this week. Let's see what about next week. Yeah, so earnings season's mostly done. I mean, we still got some stuff. We got like Home Depot next week. Nothing really big though, to be honest. Nvidia's coming out sometime soon. Target Wednesday, JD.com. Cisco Wednesday evening. I don't really see anything else that's big though. I'm looking at the earnings now. I just don't see anything that's major, to be honest here. Alibaba Thursday evening or Thursday morning. Walmart, Macy's. Those are the big ones next week. See, nothing really big though. We got a couple of slow weeks for earnings. We got CPI next week, though, so you know that'll make up for it. Check out the week after that. See what we got. Zoom. Pretty sure like all the big earnings are done. We got NVIDIA earnings. I think it's on the 21st. Yeah, so NVIDIA earnings on the 21st. That's the big one. So not this week, but or not next week, but the week after. And that's basically all the big earnings. They're basically done. After that, earnings season's done. And then earnings season doesn't start again until January after that. So we'll have the holidays up. Again, very choppy action right now. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step, guys. All right, we got exactly 1 year until the next U.S. presidential election. Yeah, Disney this week might be interesting. We'll see, man. Again, I'm not sure what we're gonna get there. You know, I really don't know what we're gonna get there. All right, team. I'm just kind of sitting tight. SPY popping back up. See, part of me wants to short again after that rejection. We'll see. I usually like when we reject the view up a few different times, I usually like it a lot more. So again, we'll see if we get that bearish action now. Now we're popping all the way back up some. But again, the market volume is so light right now. So now we're back up over the 200-day EMA. We've been just so sideways right now, man. Ready to get ready to trade the open. We got 30 minutes, team. People are trying to figure out what to do since this can have a good chance to determine what the market will do for a bit. Are you a Texan fan? No, not really. I'm from Louisiana originally, so I root for the Saints. You know. Yeah, so I'm going to be day trading at the open today. We're going to get ready. Market is mostly popping up big, but again, I'm kind of skeptical because the market's been so sideways, and we're up a lot. And again, a lot of people are calling for like a big dip today, but I'm skeptical. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, bear with me, team. Market's pushing up. So this is Quant Tower. I'm trying to get into Top Step X, but it's still not letting me, so all good. SPY ribbon all the way back up. That's good. I'd rather equities than the SPY push up some. Google looking really good today too. Finally pretty green in it. I'm just kind of letting that ride. I guess I'll take a little bit off since I can. Still got 25 minutes or so until the market opens. Take a little bit off there. There we go. Check that trade a little bit. What else? Yeah, I've definitely been lowering some of my size throughout these big pumps that we've had lately. MGM is another one that I'm in that's been pushing up nicely. Not really up enough for me to take profit yet, but we kind of just been sitting in this. It has been pushing up a lot the last few days, though. We're only down like 30 bucks. So we're going to give MGM some time. And again, we have some influence over tech today. What do you think about LSU this weekend? I thought that Bama took out our quarterback, and so... And like we were doing well up until Daniels got hurt. Yeah, defense needs to do better for sure. Our offense is good. Daniels is good, but still, we gotta do better there. All right, guys. Again, if you want to day trade with me, we're on Top Step right now. Funded account program in futures where they give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can hit the target on the demo without hitting the max loss, they fund you. You can see again, this is futures right here. This is the NASDAQ. This is basically the Q. You can see the price action here. When you zoom out on the Q, when we zoom in, look, you can kind of see it's the same thing. Bounce, dip, bounce, dip, bounce, bounce, dip, bounce, dip, bounce. Same price action. But you can trade this left side in futures. No PDT rule. It's where most pro day traders. You can also see the liquidity is a little bit better in futures than they are in actual like the Q. So again, you can day trade. Patterns are very similar to large cap stocks, but no PDT rule. They give you a demo. They test your skill. It's only $50 a month for the base one. If you pass the test, you get $50K in funding with a 90% split. If you don't pass the test, you're going to lose less than you would putting up the money up yourself. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year. There's free funding coaches. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. You can check out the link right there. Hit the love, guys. Thanks so much. And the Walt Disney Company names Hugh Johnson as Senior Executive Vice President and CFO. What about crypto right now? What's crypto doing? What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin over 35K, almost to 36K, popping up a little bit over today specifically. All right, team. All right, so Q pulling back at 368.60s. NASDAQ still pulling back. I do see a trend here, though. So, again, let's draw the trend. Trade SoFi? No, not really. SoFi down a little bit over the last day or two. Surprising, though, because the rest of the market is up. I think the Q will push above October 11 highs. Eventually, but when is a different story. I'm not sure. Eventually it will. Let's see what these October 11 highs we're talking about are. You mean 373s? Probably. I'm not sure about today. I mean, but it's still got a ways to go, though. It's still got some time. Again, we got this little mini trend on the chart right now. Yeah, we don't really have any economic reports today. So it's the 6th today. Tomorrow, what do we have for earnings here? Do we have any earnings tomorrow? I think we have Uber earnings, right? Yeah, we have Uber earnings early in the morning. We'll have to try to stream those too. We'll pull it back to the bottom of this trend line. We still got 20 minutes until the market opens. I'll be right back, team. I gotta go check on something real quick. Celsius just announced a 3-for-1 split. I don't know much about Celsius as a company. I know it's CELZ, right? Or something like that as a symbol. No, that's not it. Celsius. I don't know what Celsius symbol is, to be honest. Oh, it's CELH. I don't know enough about them. I think their drinks are big, but like if you saw what happened to Bang Energy, right? If you saw what happened to Bang Energy, they were huge and then completely went out of business. They got sued. I don't think Celsius is going to do the same. They've had a great yearly chart, done a lot of big stuff over the last year, but I'm skeptical. Although they do look, the weekly chart looks really nice for Celsius if you look at it. So again, we're starting to test the bottom of this trend line here. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back to you. All right, sorry guys, we're back. Yeah, I'm looking at everything again, kind of a breakdown of this trend that we drew here. Q and SPY are very flat, and so I'm gonna stick around for the opening bell, but not too long. Yeah, I mean WE WeWork David is going out of business, man. They're just not a strong company, bro. You know, they had some type of news though. What happened? I know they filed for bankruptcy, right? Disney names PepsiCo Hugh Johnson as executive VP and CFO. I'm looking at WeWork News. Press release speculating a significant share repurchase, but the press release is likely fraudulent. So WeWork ripped up and then came all the way back down to where it was prior to this. Yeah, a lot of people say this isn't real. All right, guys. SPY pulling back down. It's at 435.50s. 435.50s. Again, Q under VWAP. Where's Apple at right now? Google pull it back a little bit as well, but everything's still up on the day. If we look at the SPY, SPY's still green. Previous closing price on the SPY is 434.60s. Q sitting at 368s. Previous closing price is 367s. So everything up slightly on the day. We're up like 1/4 to 0.5% in most of the large index funds that I'm seeing right now. So nothing too crazy, to be honest. All right, so there have been 3 straight quarters that total U.S. bankruptcy filings have risen following a decade plus per the U.S. courts. All right, so another thing, if we look at TLT, the 20 years dipping down some. All right, so again, long-term bonds are going down. That might mean market moves up a little bit today. SPY holding at the 200 EMA VWAP level. The NASDAQ still struggling to hold. We still got 13 minutes. A lot of guys here think the week will be up. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's going to be a green week. I really have no idea. I think it's certainly possible that we're extended on the upside over the last couple of days. You know, the market pushed up a lot Friday, Thursday, Wednesday last week, of course. If you look at the SPY or the Q, we can look at either one. Here's a 10-day chart, and you can kind of see how much we pushed up. Really starting on October 26th is when this bullish action started, and you can kind of see we surged up, leading all the way into that. We're at 370s now, but we pushed up from 340s on the Q all the way up to 370s. So it's just been a really strong week, in all honesty, like a really strong week and a half in markets. And I don't know if it's going to continue. Again, I really don't. I think anything is possible. You know, I think we could be extended on the upside and start to pull back a little bit this week. I also think it's possible that we move up some, and that we continue this bull run and just continue to run into a Santa rally, kind of Christmas holiday. When do you sleep? I mean, I sleep pretty well, bro. I only stream in the mornings most of the time. Sometimes we do earnings, but earnings season's done, and that's only for like a couple weeks out of the quarter. So earnings season's only about, you know, like the next Tesla earnings are not until like January, right? So we still got a couple months. So earnings season happens every couple months, and during that period of time, we're busy, we're moving. But yeah. All right, so NASDAQ starting to pull back down. We'll see if this trend line ends up holding it down too. Let's put a 19 degree trend. Let's see if we hold there. Oh, chart prime indicators as well. Yeah, there's no big way of learning. That's what I always try to tell people. Like, everybody always tries to say super definitive statements, like we're going to do this. And again, I usually look at them like they're rookies if they say that, because they just haven't been around long enough to get humbled from making those predictions. Or maybe the anonymity of the internet and on YouTube gives them the confidence to do that, since they know even if they're wrong, it doesn't really matter too much. But all right, guys. So again, we'll see if we can find anything else. Still breaking down a little bit. Part of me wants to buy it now, though, but I think I'll just chill. Bond yields are starting to fall, though. That's the one thing that's like got me being like, Sorry for this music. I gotta change this song. This song's terrible. When is the market opening today? So if oh yeah, so a lot of you guys are overseas. If you are, remember daylight savings time happened yesterday. So we're actually an hour ahead of where we were prior to that. So we went back an hour. So again, the market opens up in 8 minutes, basically right now, give or take 8 minutes or so. I expect quite low volatility. Everyone took long last week. Now we're just waiting. Yeah, what a horrible song that was. All right, team. Again, we're going to keep it short and sweet. Again, generally, like my normal day trading streams get a little bit lower views, and my economic streams get a lot of views or earning streams. So we're going to keep it kind of low, kind of quiet right now. See if we can find some stuff to take advantage of today. And then ride out, not worrying too much. See what the NASDAQ gives us here too. All right, so we did get a bounce. Again, I did take a long here, but we're trading the regular E-mini. And so we're kind of flat throughout all of it. We were correct about the prediction, but it might be better to just kind of sit and chill until the open now, because the volatility is so light. Like, look at the liquidity on the E-mini right now. It's very slow. We don't have any economic reports today as well. The rest of the week is not super slow. Like, we got the OpenAI Dev conference today. That's big. That's relevant. You know, so like we got the OpenAI Dev event today. Again, that's big. That's relevant. Hopefully that'll give us some good influence here. We're getting ready to cut this. $50 down, so we're now 25 bucks. 5 minutes left, team. Now we're about flat here. Let me check the chat. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get rid of it. We still got daylight savings time. Yeah, the market's very sideways, neutral, and boring right now. If you look at it, really trappy. We're gonna cut this too and just get out small. It's just really trappy today. There's just not really any good edge, I would say, with the market right now. Volatility is very light, very low, very boring. This is the E-minis. This is the S&P 500 futures contract. Again, last week was such a highly volatile week. We do have some stuff going on this week. Again, we got Powell speaking twice this week, which is great. I'm all about Powell speaking. Yeah, we've been looking at Tesla all morning. Tesla up today, but it has been pulling back some in pre, but still up. At 223s right now. Pretty good time for Tesla too. It's had a pretty good run. Again, my equity portfolio hasn't moved much since the open. AMC's still surging up though. Again, though, I can't help but think, like, everybody's like, oh, AMC run, but like, dude, AMC's at a pre-split price of $1.10 right now, you know? Like, this is a stock that flew up to almost $75, almost $80 in 2021. You know, so a pre-split price of $1.10 is, even if the price action looks good, it's just not the best. We do have AMC earnings though. All right, guys, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm bored today, guys. As should you be. Most people are going to be bored. All right, so again, SPY sideways, bouncing up. Tesla very sideways. Tesla is one of the most sideways charts I've seen. So Tesla is one of the most choppy sideways neutral charts that I've seen here. Look at this. Very sideways neutral action. Yeah, we don't have any economic reports, nothing today. Again, it's just boring right now. The whole market's pretty quiet too. The rest of the week's okay. We got some Fed speakers all week. We got Governor Cook speaking and the Federal Reserve senior loan survey at 2 p.m. today. The big news going on today, guys, is OpenAI's Dev conference going live today at about noon. Again, I'm not going to cover it. Again, last week I've been streaming basically every freaking day, and I'm tired. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, we got some stuff going on. So we'll cover that too. Man, look at Tesla pop. Tesla popping up to the volume weighted average price. We got a minute and a half until the open. So now we're pulling back a little bit, which is interesting because the SPY is moving up. We got 30 seconds here, or because Tesla's moving up. Look at Tesla popped to 224. E-mini pulling back down. Again, my hands are kind of off. I don't really like anything today. Yeah, we don't even have any earnings really today, too. Not any big ones. Dish came out. Berkshire came out. But Berkshire actually dropped last week on Friday. Here's the opening bell, guys. 20 seconds. And again, I'm trading on a platform called Top Step Funded Program and Futures. Great way to learn how to trade with less risk. And there's free funding coaches. Like if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90%, which is similar to what you would putting up the money yourself. If you're not good enough, you're going to generally lose less than you would putting up the money. Like if I put up 5K and lose 1,000, that's going to hurt. You know, I could put up 49 bucks and potentially get funded on Top Step though. Market's bouncing back up. So we are bouncing back up a little bit as well. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, here's the link. Kind of a short stream today. We started late. Get the E-mini bounce in here. Tesla all the way down to 223s. SPY at 435s. Wow, look at bull action at the open except for Tesla. Tesla's red. A pretty bullish open. Doesn't mean it's going to hold though. This is the S&P too, which moves a little bit less than the NASDAQ. Wow. What a green open. Again, I'm going to hands her off right now. Look at the SPY pop too. Let's see NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to be such a heavy influence over this as well. NVIDIA moving up to 453 right now. Exxon been pushing up a little bit too. AMC. Hey, you got to put a shirt on, bro. Hey, don't walk over here. You got to put a shirt on.
Can I use your iPad for the calendar?
You trying to code a game? My iPad's not charged, buddy.
Well, can I at least have it?
It's not charged.
Is it dead?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll charge it. All right. Hey, you want to go by my bed and grab me my charger? It's plugged in next to my bed. Okay, it's white. Thank you, buddy. All right, so we're pulling back a little bit right now. Tesla at 225. So Tesla moving up. Look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA popping up to 456. Very bullish open, but it doesn't mean it's going to hold. This kind of looks like a bull flag here, but I'm skeptical, of course. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, bud. All right, I'll plug it in for you, buddy, okay? All right, so now we're pulling back. Again, this is why I was a little hesitant to buy up stuff. Hey, what's up, James? Look at this deep pullback after a big run up. Again, my hands are off, guys. I don't really trust this price action enough to really take any positions here based off of this yet. E-mini coming all the way back down. I will short though if we start to crack this low. So like I will short if we start to break this low down here. Like not the low of the day, but this low right here. If we crack underneath that and then retest it, I might short. Tesla turning all the way back down. This is why I said I'm not going to attack it yet. It was a pretty big move at the open though. All right, we got a little down wick, buying pressure showing up. NVIDIA starting to dip too, though. I guess I'm going to buy this short term, but I don't trust it very much. If we break under this little low wick right here, I'll cut it, but I want to just see if NVIDIA bounces at that VWAP level. If it does, this could help my trade here. If NVIDIA bounces right there, which it just did. All right, so we tried to pop up a little bit. All right, so there goes NVIDIA bouncing right at that VWAP level. Exactly what we talked about. Let's see if it drags the market up enough to help me be green. We did bounce though. Flat, going back and forth between flat and down slightly on the trade. All right, so slightly green. I like to see a little bit more of a push up though. I also don't like the fact that NVIDIA is starting to test this level again, which doesn't look good. I'm probably going to limit my risk here and cut this pretty soon. I'll let it test, but yeah, got to limit my risk. Even though NVIDIA is bouncing, I think it might be fine. We're just not getting the price action I want. Maybe the NASDAQ will treat me better, but kind of middle range right now, so it's hard to tell. And again, if we keep breaking down, I will pivot to a more short-based like setup. All right, now we're retracing. All right, flat action right now, kind of boring here, team. E-mini starting to flush down. NASDAQ rip it up though. I might trade a little bit the NASDAQ here if I can. All right, I got too many windows up here. Hold on. The E-mini looking okay. I think the NASDAQ's probably going to be a little bit better though. All right, look at the NASDAQ. So tech is rising. It's mostly from NVIDIA though right here. So look at NVIDIA rip. Look at Tesla rip. Wait, let me make sure this is my right account. Wow, dude, look at the market rip. Crazy. Mostly from NVIDIA back up to 460s. Let me see how my equities portfolio is looking. See, my equity portfolio is not really moving that much. I've taken a lot of it off though. Well, yeah, this is NVIDIA ripping. This is dragging the market up, NVIDIA specifically. Tesla's starting to come back up too. And again, we do have that dev conference today. So remember, we do have that developer conference at noon today, that OpenAI Dev conference at noon. And so y'all be ready for that as well. NVIDIA all the way up to almost 460s. Coca-Cola is still looking pretty good. Might have to take some off of there too. Actually, you know what? I'll just sit on that one. Gold down a little bit today, although gold's been looking a lot better. Disney too. Look at NASDAQ ripping up again. This is NVIDIA right now. Look at NVIDIA on the bottom right. Shout out to the guy that said we'd be super red today. You know, and you get people who are like based off of technical indicators, right? And like you get like people who that live and breathe technicals. And I do as well. Like I'm a technical guy, right? But the problem is that technicals are never 100% accurate. They never, and economic data, fundamental data, market sentiment can all change with quickness. And so betting everything on one potential technical outcome is usually a pretty risky endeavor that, you know, generally is not really going to always be accurate. Again, you could look at bond yields this morning. Remember I talked about how bond yields, or that bond, like the 20-year was down a lot, and that might signal bullish action today. If you look at the 10-year yield, which is a little bit shorter term, but if you look at TNX gapped up a little bit. It's at 4.62% right now. But again, Tesla's starting to ramp. Yeah, the NASDAQ flying up. Putin deciding to run for president again. I don't know what the odds are on him winning. It's got to be like 99%. Yeah, so PE ratios right now for NVIDIA 109. Amazon 72, Tesla 71, Netflix 43, Microsoft 34, Apple 29, Facebook 28, Google 25, S&P 22. All right, we got a little pullback on the NASDAQ. Part of me wants to buy the dip, and I guess I will. But again, market is so kind of sketchy right now, it's hard to make money. And so we're going to try again, and if this doesn't work, we're just going to bow out for the day and come back a more favorable day. This is probably going to be a slow week, I would say, this week. Until Powell speaks later on. Not really any big economic reports. And this is all heading into CPI next week. All right, there we go. All right, just made about $100 there. That's nice. So about $100 up. Let's see if we can grind it up some more. I'm going to buy NVIDIA again ahead of this OpenAI day. We got a little cushion now. Again, sometimes the NASDAQ can be more momentum filled. So like maybe we'll get some better opportunities here. All right, we're kind of flat on the day now after this. Watch Tesla and NVIDIA though. We'll take another swing. See if we can churn up some. Just get punished. Right middle range though, so there's risks here for sure. Yeah, I took half of the position off. I just don't want to take any crazy large risks. And I'll let one contract in the NASDAQ give me my risk for the day. What we're watching is NVIDIA and Tesla to see if they bounce. And if they don't, it's all good. It's kind of a difficult day. We might be down like $100, $150. Again, the market's very neutral, even with like big runs in NVIDIA. You can see the NASDAQ still pretty middle range on the day relative to what it did earlier. I don't want to cut this because I think if this bounces, we could get some good moves, but we still have to keep an eye on NVIDIA right here. Tesla's starting to fall. That's probably going to drag this down. Yeah, very close to cutting it. Again, it's probably just not my day. We're down like $200. I'm probably just going to bow out for the day. Market's very low liquidity. Not a lot of good action. And so I just kind of I keep getting beat up. I'd rather just not trade anymore today. And I'm okay with that. Every day is not going to be green. That's the first thing you all have to understand is that every day is not going to be green. The market's also really choppy as well. Like we're looking at Chart Prime. And Chart Prime, despite the choppiness, has still been pretty solid today. Like, look, so this is a company called Chart Prime, trading view service. You can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. I use it a lot with my funded account programs and futures. But again, I'll never endingly say this. Okay, the best edge in the game, in my opinion, is when you get an E-mini. is when you get a reversal signal. If you look at the reversal signal behind us, or the candlestick behind us, you get an engulfing candle and a reversal signal at the same time. You get a nice little drop. And again, I'll challenge you to back test this on the E-mini, on the regular NASDAQ, on the SPY, like bearish engulfing, reversal down, drop. Same thing here, drops right afterwards. And again, usually you get a lot bigger action. Like same thing here. Look, engulfing candle. When they sit right on top of each other like this, very bullish sign. And you can set alerts for it as well. Like look at the nice dips you get from that. If it's a reversal and an engulfing sitting right on top of each other. This is a 5-minute chart using the regular E-mini. Again, same thing at the bottom here. You see bullish engulfing, reversal up signal. Beautiful bounce there. Beautiful bounce. Same thing here. Bearish engulfing, beautiful drop. That's a little bit smaller one, but it still worked. You can see the next 3 candles were green. Or we're successful. Same thing here. And look, you can kind of see I have alerts going off. Engulfing candle, reversal signal, drop. But they're not right on top of each other there. Again, if they're right on top of each other, like, look, let me show you. That's when the edge is like profound, I think. Look, bullish engulfing, reversal up signal, bounce. And this is just a small piece of what they offer. Again, this is a company called Chart Prime. Trading view service you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. If you want to check them out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. They are a sponsor of mine, and so I'm certainly biased. But again, choppy days are choppy days. I think in order to use these successfully, you have to identify days when the market is pretty flat, right? Which is some days nothing's going to work, right? Engulfing candle, reversal up, beautiful bounce. But again, this is a tiny piece. I could put up oscillators. If I go to this, I can put up smart money concepts. I can put up buy and sell signals chart patterns, smart money concepts, oscillators. All these different things that you can use for your trading on any time frame in stocks, crypto, forex, futures. Let me see if I can find a flag pattern so you guys can see what this looks like. Let me get rid of this oscillator. So there's smart money concepts, which is kind of like where things are cheap. You can see the flag patterns that show up on the chart. A lot of really nice stuff that you can use, and you can get it for like $50 a month, I think, if you use my link. Again, I'll post this link right here. Great way to help support your boy in this channel. They are a sponsor of mine, of course, so I'm biased in their favor naturally because they pay me money. But again, check them out. Here's the link. What you doing, bro? Huh? What kind of cord? Here, no, you can't play it while it's plugged in, brother. Hey, bud. Here, give me 1 second. I'm almost done, okay, buddy? All right. Also, again, if you want to try out funded account programming futures, if you want to day trade and you don't want to lose thousands of dollars on days like today, try out a funded account program. It's less risk. They give you a demo, test your skill. If you can hit the target without hitting the max loss and while following the rest of their rules, they fund you the same amount as the demo. This might sound like you don't need it, but if you're putting up the money up yourself, you're risking thousands of dollars. If you're learning how to trade, it's all about learning how to trade under pressure. And this is a beautiful middle ground of that pressure where you're not taking on too much risk. You still have some pressure. So it's not just a regular demo account. And so it's the best of both worlds where if you pass it, 90% split. If you don't pass it, you're only out $50. Again, futures market, you can day trade the NASDAQ, S&P, currencies, gold, silver. Check out the link in the description. Love you all. Y'all be safe. Again, I'm going to be back later, or I'll be back tomorrow. It's a slow day right now. We just don't have much going on, so I'm going to go enjoy my day. Y'all be good. Stick around. Tomorrow we got some stuff coming out, and then Wednesday we got Powell. Thursday we have Powell. Wednesday we have AMC earnings. We have also... What other earnings do we have Wednesday? Wednesday, we have AMC, Roblox, Fisker, Warner Bros., Under Armour, Disney. Again, we'll see what those turn out like. Good luck. Y'all be good. I'll see you guys tomorrow.